Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Urban Legend, and today I thought it would be cool to kind of go over and talk about XDEFIANT, this new game from Ubisoft. A bunch of old Infinity Ward developers and also a bunch of ex-COD pros as well have kind of come together to produce this game, which is actually really exciting. I've managed to sit there for half an hour surviving on some random boring person's Twitch stream to get the drop for my beta code, and I actually picked up the other guns as well that they got from watching for an hour and then 2 hours, just let it go in the background to get those purple weapon skins. But in general, my first thoughts so far actually is just this game is fun, man. Like it's good, it's fun, it's far from perfect, but it's just so different to kind of the first person shooters that we've had to deal with on the market for probably the last 2 years. Call of Duty's been pretty interesting, Battlefield's been useless, and there's really not been that much else there for us to kind of experiment with. So this game just ends up feeling super fresh. So I managed to sit down and play it for probably an hour and a half in total so far. I think the beta's up for another few days, so I'll definitely keep playing, but it's a bit hard here in New Zealand and OCE. Some of the matchmaking can take a while. I think I spent an hour searching for a match last night, but that's all good. So I think one of the things that stuck out to me straight away was the fact that there's just no skill-based matchmaking. It's just something that we're just so used to in COD, and I think you kind of feel like everyone's just kind of on your level, and games just turn into an absolute sweat fest as I slap that guy with the Mosin in the gun there. And it just feels so refreshing. Yes, you often get some spuds and potatoes in your team and they're pretty interesting to deal with, but overall, like, I feel it's just so fresh, it's so nice. Like, they just want people to have fun, and that's really what a public mode should be. You shouldn't be sweating your butt off just when you get home from work and you're tired, you're worn out. It's not fun to go home and play a game that just stresses you out even more. Which is where, like, if you want to, if you're a hardcore player, you can play ranked, which I'm sure will be quite a good system. I'm actually quite looking forward to in this game, because that's the only thing that's keeping me going in Call of Duty at the moment. But yeah, so it's just so refreshing. It's so good. I don't know other games have it, but in the FPS realm, it's kind of just been just a weird mix with Call of Duty at the moment. Like, you used to have back in the day 4.5 KD and Infinite Warfare, and nowadays you have barely a 2, and it makes you feel just like you're not that good of a player, but it's only because the game's putting you against people that are on your same skill level, which is pretty interesting. And like, they've got beta rewards, so like they've got a free battle pass going at the moment, which is pretty cool. So all those rewards stay until the game fully releases, so they'll be on your account, which is really cool. There's a couple of weapon skins, some like character titles, and a few other little emojis and stuff like that, which is actually quite cool. A lot of the times you see betas that just kind of just give you 3 maps. This has got 14, and then no progression carries over or nothing, which can be a bit lame. But yeah, a lot of this is carrying over, which is quite cool. There's actually a fair amount to engage with here, which is quite fantastic. And for those of you who haven't managed to touch it yet, I would say it kind of closely feels maybe somewhere in between Black Ops 4 and like Overwatch. So you have specialists, which are quite interesting and fun to use. They're not game breaking, they're not annoying, which is quite good. It's predominantly all just gunplay, which is good fun, as I got absolutely trapped there. And that's kind of it. It predominantly focuses on the guns with a couple of abilities there, which are quite interesting. But those are probably the 2 games I'd kind of compare it closest to. But also feeling a bit more like traditional Call of Duty as well. So I think my biggest gripe, and I think everyone that I've seen is having similar issues as well, is just with the netcode. So I think it will get fixed. I know the devs have been talking about it a lot. But yeah, sometimes you are dead before you see the enemy. Sometimes you are getting away from an enemy and you're like 5-6 meters around a corner and you just die. You just get nuked, which unfortunately is probably worse being here in Oceania, but from the gameplay I've seen of other YouTubers as well, they are struggling with it. Sometimes you can get 10 bullets on someone and nothing hits, but I mean it's a beta. It's got a lot of traffic on it at the moment, so we'll kind of give it the grace. And I mean, I've seen Battlefield launch like this before, so the fact that this is in beta, a closed beta too, it's not even an open beta yet, it just goes to show that, you know, they're willing to put it out there. They know there's issues with the game, and that's fine. I kind of trust that they should get things like this dealt with, and then hopefully also smooth out how the game feels on controller. It's maybe a little bit disjointed. There's some weird like dead zones, or it feels a bit floaty sometimes. But that's something that they will sort out, hopefully. But that's pretty good. And the devs have actually been really good and forthcoming. See, I died from a guy on top of the platform there, which was crazy. But the devs have been really forward and upfront with what they're working on, which is also really good to hear. With Call of Duty, we hear nothing for months. So it's good to see the devs and people like Aches are kind of openly discussing on Twitter what they're working on, and kind of just engaging with the fan base, which is really cool. We don't often see that. And one other question that I see raised all the time is this the Call of Duty killer? And for me, I don't think it will be, but that's because Call of Duty is just out to kill itself at the moment. So it'd be interesting to watch this. I think it'll do well to begin with when it fully releases. Obviously, being free to play, it should have a lot of downloads. And I mean, there's just so many maps and everything in the game. I feel like its player retention has the potential to be really high, similar to like CS and stuff like that. I don't think it'll ever be maybe on that level, but I do feel like this game does have a lot of backing behind it. It is fun, which is the biggest thing. It'd be really interesting to see how this goes ahead in the market. And yeah, I don't think it'll kill Call of Duty. Call of Duty is just too popular, too refined, but it will be cool to see this kind of hopefully find its own spot on the market. Ubisoft has never really gone massive with a FPS before, especially not in the online multiplayer sections. I mean, you kind of have your Division online sectors and stuff like that there, but they've just never really refined or anything like this. So it'd actually be really interesting to see how well this does. But if you want a chance to play, link up your Ubisoft account with your Twitch, watch a drops enabled partner for 30 minutes, and we'll see you on the XDEFIANT closed beta.